House of Consciousness presents Natural Tahuti and the Agony of Defeat, Part 2. You see, Brother Natural Tahuti is going to deal with some powerful, good information. But a lot of you brothers and sisters out there, y'all heart is filled with so much goddamn hate that the truth can't penetrate. Damn, Brother Natural Tahuti.
Okay. Goddamn, when I said the woman is the original man, and we are the sons of man. He said that's crazy. Right. He don't know the etymology. He's not a scholar. Here's the scholarship, the etymology of the word man. In the original Norse, man meant woman. The word for man was not man but word, from the Sanskrit root verb, as in where the man wolf. The name man meant the moon, creators of all creatures, according to the Scandinavian and other tribes throughout Europe. Even in empirical Rome, man or mana was the mother of all manes or ancestral spirits. The Sanskrit root man means moon, wisdom, both the primary attributes of the great goddess. The 7 daughters of Eve. Let's get into the science. In the field of human genetics, mitochondrial Eve refers to the most recent common matrilineal ancestor from whom all living humans are descended. Passed down from mother to offspring, all mitochondrial DNA in every living person is directly descended from hers. Mitochondrial Eve is the female counterpart of the Y chromosome of Adam, the patrilineal most recent common ancestor. Although they live thousands of years apart, mitochondrial Eve is generally estimated to have lived around 200,000 years ago, most likely in East Africa, when Homo sapiens sapiens, anatomically modern humans, were developing as a population distinct from other human subspecies. Mitochondrial Eve lived much earlier than the out of Africa migration that is thought to have occurred between 95 to 40,000, 5,000 BC. The dating for Eve was a blow to the multi-regional hypothesis and a boost to the hypothesis that modern human beings originated relatively recently in Africa from a single female origin. Woo! The Great Red Dragon, chapter 10, woman appears first. We have said that modern religion is exclusively masculine. In man-made religion, philosophies, and theoretical dissertations, the masculine principle and the male organism are primary in the cosmic scheme. The female principle and the female organisms are secondary. But natural law, at all points, reveals the fact that originally and normally all things center, as it were, about the female. The female sex, which existed from the beginning, continues unchanged. The male sex, which did not exist at the beginning, makes its appearance at a certain stage and has a certain history in development, but never becomes universal. There are probably more living beings without the male than with it. The female is the primary, original sex and continues throughout the main trunk. The male element was added afterward for purposes of variation. The secret of regeneration. The female organism is one on which nature has bestowed the most care, provision, and attention. This is only logical when it is considered that organized forms begin their existence in the elementary of the womb, mother of the center of nutrition and conservation, and of self-reproduction. Life is primitive, formative, and organic forms begin with a single mother cell. Page 358. Modern science asserts that in the mysterious evolution of sex, the male element first was non-existent. In all, its initial appearance was preliminary and excretion, a superfluity, a waste product, discharged or expelled by the formative mother organism. And unless reunited, the parent will perish. In this book, The Evolution of Sex by Patrick Geddes and John Arthur Thomas, at the very threshold of sex difference, we find that a little active cell or spore, unable to develop itself, unites in fatigue with the larger, more quintessential individual. Professor Beauregard of this book, Theosophists Magazine, all facts point to the female as the primary and fundamental basis of organic existence. Modern biological studies have also shown that the masculine is secondary. Professor Drummond endorses this view. Life is exalted in proportion to its organic and functional complexity. Women's organism is more complex and her totality of function larger than those of any other creature inhabiting our earth. Therefore, her position in the scale of life is most exalted, the sovereign one. Not only do modern scientists admit that the woman is the main trump, but she's a more substantial type and higher being. Move right along. Now, when I use the word degenerate, most people are saying that I'm using it as a word to denigrate men. No, it's a scientific appellation to show you and to discuss how man has degenerated from his mother. We can say that the white man has degenerated from the black man, but we cannot accept that we have degenerated from the mother. You cannot be greater than that which created you. If a man created the woman, how the hell did he do it? Did she come out of his ASS? That's homosexuality. Dr. York! Harass the teacher! I will venerate Dr. York today and vindicate him of his lies. Teach us! There you go. Not only is Dr. York a master teacher, he stole his constitution from Dr. York. But I didn't bring it here today. That'll be in another lecture. We'll show you. Dr. York wrote us a letter and said this thief stole his constitution. Scientists today have discovered that the Y chromosome in the sperm has 2.8% genetic material, that the X chromosome in the same sperm specimen. Researchers were able to sift sperm to produce samples in which 85% of the cells had an X chromosome. In fact, the X chromosome is 5 times larger than the Y chromosome, which means that the female existed for generations without the male. To get the Y chromosome out of the X chromosome, you lose one of your points. Thus, the chromosome is defective, which is why man has the components on his body that woman does. For example, the breasts and nipples. And not only do man does have a uterus. It's called the prostate gland. Listen. Now, he told a goddamn lie on Dr. York. He said that a white Jew was the author of this shit. He said in 1978, the man wrote the book. He's a damn liar. Get the book, get the book. I have the report right here. He's 20 years later. Read it and learn. Mary Jane Sheffrey, in 1961, interested in female biology was intensified when she came upon the inductive theory, which demonstrated that the human embryo is female until hormonally induced to become a man. That's the brother right there. Do you see a white Jew? That's an English man and a Chinese man. They did the research. He has the report right there. He said 1978, 1958. He's 20 years too late. For years, scientists have researched the basic differences between human males and human females. While it has been previously declared that what determines gender are the X and Y chromosomes found in male sperm, this is only partially true. As it turns out, the Y chromosome is, in fact, a defective X chromosome with one of the legs missing. At first, this discovery discovered, scientists were determined to find out what other effects it may have on its victims. Unfortunately, since the penis, although technically part of the male DNA, is on the outside of the body, it deteriorates at the same rate and sometimes faster than the body of the male. This discovery led to scientists quickly finding a way to keep the penis and thus the male brain functioning. The result is drugs for what is being called erectile dysfunction. Can somebody say Viagra? Okay, another sign of deterioration of the external part of the chromosome is what is widely referred to as a midlife crisis, during which a man will frequently search out younger women, even if he already has a perfectly loved one. He knows that very well. The sister sitting right there. He tried to get with her. She's sitting right there. She's right there. He may sometimes... That's funny shit. Okay, or he may buy faster cars and phallic-shaped cars. He may sometimes quit his job. Let me move on. Everyone starts off XX. Everyone. The female X chromosome is the most extraordinary in the human genome in terms of biology and its association with disease. Females are protected from many diseases because of their double dose of the bigger, stronger X chromosome. If you look through a microscope, you can immediately see the difference in the Y's small chromosome size. Further, the X chromosome is one of 24 distinct chromosomes found in human cells and is much larger than the relatively puny Y, containing 1,098 genes to the Y's 78 genes. So females have over 1,000 more genes than males due to the female chromosomal attack. And this book right here, the male sex determining factor is regulated by what is called SRY protein, secreted off the Y chromosome, sent to genetic location YP11.3. This SRY protein is secreted 6 or 7 weeks of gestation period during the fetal development. This means before SRY gene has expressed, for 6 or 7 weeks, all zygotes were or are developing females. And biological circulatory system, spinal cord, the digestive system, bone, facial structures, limbs, nervous tissue, eyes, nose, kidney, lungs, are female sex. If the Y chromosome's SRY gene is not expressed or does not produce the adequate levels of testosterone during fetal development, the fetus will continue to develop into an XX female by default. All fetuses being female in the womb of WNT4. This is where the X, listen, I'm going to show you where the SRY was developed from. WNT4, cytogenetic location 1p36, we get past that. Molecule location on the largest chromosomes. Base pairs 22,443 and 796 to 22,469, 518 base pair X chromosomes. WNT4 glycoprotein is the female sex determining factor and is expressed in the fetus before SRY testosterone is even secreted. Strong expressions of the WNT4 can inhibit SRY, signaling blocking male development. WNT4 is the WNT4 gene family. WNT4 is expressed during embryonic organogenesis formation, ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. WNT4 is expressed in the gonads, the ovaries, before male sex determination takes place and is down-regulated in the male gonads. It also is responsible for genital formation, including the genital tuba called the clitoris, that will inflate or swell into a phallus. Right?